So El Tráfico Season 5, Episode 15 took place during the round of 16 of the US Open Cup. And I'm satisfied by the result last night. See, for me, I really don't have a favorite team. I'm not a LAFC fan or LA Galaxy fan. I just want to see a good match. I just also honor rivalries. When it comes to sports, that's one out of many things that compels me to watch sports is rivalries. So a rivalry as such magnitude that still many people don't know much about. I just want to see a good match. And one thing I don't like is when the referees feel the need to interfere themselves in the game and try to make I don't like when the referees are the deciding factor of a rivalry match. And this time around, the refs were pretty decent. They weren't as bad as the first match of this season. They weren't as bad as the previous match. And overall, LA Galaxy, they reminded LAFC who the true king of LA is. When it comes to traditional football in Los Angeles, when it comes to soccer in Los Angeles, the LA Galaxy reminded LAFC that they are the true kings of LA. And LAFC has some catching up to do. Another thing I like, the stars were playing in the game. And Chicharito played much longer than I expected. I was just thinking that they're going to have him in for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then sub him out. Similar to how they did Carlos Vela. I don't understand what kind of injury Vela had this time around. It seemed like every time he gets injured, it says a knee, a lingering knee. But the play where he allegedly got injured at, somebody just bumped into his shoulder. It was just a shoulder rub. Somebody just rubbed against his shoulder as they were fighting for the ball. And it was too painful for him to last in the match. So he had to leave. And Vela's durability, I'm not so optimistic about him staying with LAFC, and optimistic as in whether the team should re-sign him. Like, his constant injuries is getting to the point where I'm thinking where, if a Mexican team wants him, and if they're willing to outbid LAFC should just let him go. Because, listen, and LA Galaxy gets this, what I'm about to say. I didn't think both teams would get it, but LA Galaxy got it. The US Open Cup is not just some exhibition match. The US Open Cup should not be treated as a preseason game the way that Bruce Arenas treated the round of 16 game. I mean, Bruce Arenas completely disrespected the integrity of the US Open Cup by what he did last night. And Bruce Arenas owes the entire soccer ecosystem, the entire soccer economy, an apology. The US Open Cup is a season within a season. I repeat, the US Open Cup is a season within a season. Similar to how the CONCACAF Champions League is a season within a season. Similar to how the Supporter Shield competition is a season within a season. However, the fight for the Supporter Shield is not as important and as prestigious as the US Open Cup. And here's why. The US Open Cup is a fight for the national champion. You're just not the champion for one league. you are the champion for all major leagues in America. This is why the US Open Cup is more important than the fight for the Supporters Shield. And LA Galaxy gets it. Orlando gets it. Nashville gets it. Omaha gets it. Sacramento gets it. NYCFC gets it. So to see Chicharito and LAFC's other key players playing as long as they did, I was impressed because both organizations gets it. Now onto LAFC. LAFC's supporting cast have to step up. There's a reason why LAFC went after multiple guys in free agency or in the transfer market. However they got them, through trades. The Kellen Acostas, the Max Crepeau, Ryan Hollished. Max Crepeau, you're not really living up to expectation right now. You allowing 3 goals in an important match. Like, I just don't see how the whole team just fell apart because one guy who is injury prone. I mean, it's not like the guy and Vela usually don't get injured. The guy constantly gets injured. So at this point, when Vela goes down, LAFC should automatically be able to pick up the slack. They should be used to Vela not being on the field. But it just seemed like the entire team just didn't know what to do after he left. And this is where your veteran free agents gotta pick it up. And they should be used to this right now because Vela is usually injured a lot. You know what I'm saying? With Kellen Acosta, you got to do more. I understand you're a defensive midfielder, but in this game, in this new era of American soccer, points wins championships, not defense. So Kellen Acosta, you got to do more. Max Crepeau, you got to do a better job living up to expectations. But at the same time, LAFC's defense has to do a better job of helping Crepeau because the few times, at least like 2 out of the 3 goals where LA Galaxy scored, like LA Galaxy was on a quick fast break and LAFC couldn't catch up. And if a goalie is in a 2 versus 1 situation, that's tough for the goalie. So it's not only your fault, Crepeau. LAFC as a unit has to do better when Vela's not in the match. And LAFC, you have shown that you're capable of picking up the slack this season when Vela's not there. I don't know what happened last night, but you embarrassed yourself. You really did. And it seemed as if the LAFC fans outnumbered the Galaxy fans in the stands. So it really looked like a real home match for LAFC. I believe the game was played at LA Galaxy Stadium, but it looked as if there was more LAFC fans in attendance. Anyhow, the main thing I got out of this match is both teams get the memo. They get it. US Open Cup is not a regular exhibition match. US Open Cup is not some kind of preseason match where you scout your low-level players to see if they can make the team like Bruce Arenas. Both team gets it. And then moving forward, I really question, is Carlos Vela worth re-signing? Is Carlos Vela worth bringing back for LAFC? Because somebody who is not as durable as he is, you can't really rely on him to take your program forward, to take your club forward. Now, there is a guy that LAFC drafted in 2021, and he currently plays for the Las Vegas Lights. His name is Danny Trejo. Now, I don't know how this USL MLS system works because the USL is not a MLS farm system. However, it seems as if the Las Vegas Lights is the farm system for LAFC because Danny Trejo was drafted by LAFC, and he went on to sign with the Las Vegas Lights, which is an affiliate of LAFC. Now, I believe that Danny Trejo could be the one that replaces Vela if many of you don't know who Danny Trejo is, I encourage you to go watch his highlights on YouTube. Danny Trejo is the real deal. He's fast. He's like fast as lightning. The dude is really fast. The dude can run. He can score. He's an offensive playmaker. His style of play reminds me of Joseph Martinez. Danny Trejo from the Las Vegas Lights looks like a young Joseph Martinez. And according to Transfer Market, if this is accurate now, I went on the Transfer Market website and it's saying his current contract with Las Vegas expires in November of 2022. So his contract expires in November of 2022, and Vela's contract with LAFC expires sometime this summer, either June, I believe it's June or July, but sometime this summer, Vela's contract expires with LAFC. So my thing is, if you're LAFC, you may want to think twice. Maybe it's time to think twice. Like, is Vela really worth keeping? Now, if you let him go, yes, the fans are going to be disappointed because he's a fan favorite. But this is the time where you gotta put your emotions to the side and just think about business and look at the upside. You have a current star veteran who's not really reliable because he's always injured. But then you have a young guy in Danny Trejo that you drafted. He's currently playing for the Las Vegas Lights. He looks like he can fill the void. He can be Vela's replacement. So in my honest opinion, I do believe that they're gonna try their hardest to re-sign Vela, because at least for the rest of the season, it is good for the MLS to see Vela Chicharito. We want to see Vela Chicharito again, and there's a possibility that these two teams will face each other again in the playoffs. So they already faced each other twice. They're gonna face each other again in the regular season, but that's if Vela resigns. So there's a possibility we get to see Vela Chicharito 2 more times this season, 4 times total. From an entertainment standpoint, that is good. It's good for an entertainment possibility. The reason why I say possibility, because Vela's injury history. That's why. And on the business standpoint, it's like, is it worth it? You already got guys like Ryan Hollinshed, Mamadou Fall, Kellen Acosta. There are guys. LAFC is loaded. LAFC has good depth. So that's why I don't understand that poor performance last night. I just don't understand that poor performance. But LA Galaxy is the better team, and it is what it is. So this is going to be an interesting thing to watch as we head into the summer, as we head into July 4th, and late into the season. The future of Carlos Vela. Overall, in his U.S. Open Cup round of 16, the El Tráfico edition of round of 16, both teams got the memo. And LA Galaxy reminded LAFC who the true king of LA is. So now LA Galaxy moves on to face Sacramento, and that's going to be very interesting.